Let me shut my phone off because I don't want Max to call crying again.
Dude.
What? Let me just shut this off because it will kill me.
You didn't once
What?
say that you had a recital to go. Your son's recital.
I didn't.
We're both fatherless men.
Yeah.
So is
Max. And so is Max. Tonight, on the day of his first recital.
Well, recitals for boys are gay, so you're making a real man.
What's up? You're right. Fuck him.
Max, when you see this in the future, this is when you became the toughest son of a bitch to walk the earth. You're getting close to the porn age.
Listen to me.
Did you catch him already?
I want to talk about this. I can't talk about it.
Come on, dude.
I can't talk about it.
You're on the couch just hanging out.
Dude.
The lady took the dog for a walk.
Dude.
Let's get nuts. Just boys in the room. What happened? Is he at porn age yet? My mom, I'll tell you a story. We can ease you in.
Yeah.
I used to, this is like before DVD porn. This is VHS porn.
Right.
But then I get Playboys and penthouses.
Yeah.
And then what I'd do is I would take them and hide them up in my closet where I had like a couple Playboys and a couple penthouses up there. And then one day I went for the stack, gone.
Your mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But never said anything. Waited for me to say something.
Yeah.
And I just held tight.
Yeah. My mom caught me whacking off.
Like mid-beat?
She went to the store one day. She goes, me and your sister went to the store. You want to come? I was like, nah. Because whenever the house was empty, it was time to make love.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Is that what you call beating off?
When the house was empty. Because that means
But
that means you get,
I don't care about the house being empty. Did you call jerking off making love?
when the house was empty. Because, let me tell you, let me finish. Because then that's when I can get fully naked.
Oh.
Do you know what I mean?
Did you kiss the air?
Yeah, like, yeah. Yeah.
Did you like hump your hand?
Because before that,
You're a sensual ass
it was like
young
you had
man.
to take it out and do it somewhere in the bathroom quick. But when nobody was home, you could make love.
Let me tell you, I was CBGB beating. 1, 2, 3, 4. I was just pulling it out, get the venom out of me.
You were black flagging it.
Yeah. It's like very anti-authority. And just
no.
When
I could get the house alone, I would get fully naked. I remember she left. She did all the linens too. Like, so my bed was bare. So
So you really felt like a dirty girl.
When I used to jerk off too, and when I used to masturbate, we used to use Vaseline petroleum jelly.
That's a son of a bitch to get off your hand when you're done.
Yeah, but that's all, that back in the day. That's what you had. You didn't jerk off with the your mom's leg cream because that was kind of gross and
I also feel like it would hurt.
But petroleum jelly was great.
So you have a bare mattress.
Bare mattress.
Slick the hog.
Slicking the hog, and then I heard boo.
No.
And my mother opened the door. She went boo, and then she went
no,
and she fell to the ground laughing.
How old were you?
And then she literally had to reach up, grab the door, and shut it.
How old are you?
She was going, whoa.
How old are you?
I was 15.
Fuck, so you were getting an aggressive beat. It wasn't like 12, what am I doing? How does this feel?
I had a fucking snatch of pubes up top.
And you were
and
naked
I had my legs like this. Oh. And I was like this, back arched.
And she goes, boo!
Boo! And I went,
that was my question. Did you break? Or were you stay
Did
like,
I break?
Hey, get out of here.
Oh, no. I went into complete shock. I went,
and then you wilted.
It was like a ghost. So then I immediately...
You had a wiener wilt.
I froze. She shut the door, crawled, I believe, back to her room laughing. Yeah. I could hear her going... And then I put my clothes on, and I went into her room, and she was folding clothes. And she was like, so you didn't think we were going to come...
There's nothing I love your mom being like, so you want meatloaf?
Yeah.
You want a fat meatloaf tonight, you fucking pervert?
Never said a word. 2 weeks later, me and my sister were at the table with guests over, and we were eating, and she wouldn't pass something to me. And I was like, pass this ketchup, whatever it was, you fatso. I called her fatso.
You called your mom fatso?
No, my sister.
Oh, okay.
And she goes, at least I don't jerk off with the Vaseline, pervert. And my
in front of the guests.
My mom went...
Oh, man.
My mom and stepdad both started cracking up. It was embarrassing. I just stood up and ran up the stairs.
Will you answer this next question honestly?
Yes.
How many prostitutes have you murdered because of that moment?
3.
Just
three.
You go, you're not supposed to walk in. Boo to you.
It's funny.
Boo to you.
It's funny, man.
Just killing a fucking
It's funny
lady
for
in the
me
night.
to talk to you about prostitutes because you've never had a prostitute.
No, I don't like the idea of they're only fucking me because of the money. That takes me out of the whole thing.
Yeah, it takes all of us out of the whole thing.
Well, no, I think there's some dudes that love that. There are dudes that love, like, here's money, fuck me now.
Really?
I've had conversations with friends of ours who have been like...
Do I know any of these friends?
Yeah.
Do I talk on a microphone with some of these people?
You have. And they've said they like... I know... There's a friend of ours, and I will not release names, unless we do a Patreon, where he... with his girlfriend, long-term girlfriend, would play hooker because he liked the idea of giving her $40 for a blowjob.
Really?
Yes.
That's hot.
I love it because
I love that he got a discount too.
I know, $40.
He didn't even give the woman he loves $100. I mean, it's coming back to you.
Yeah.
In Starbucks or snacks.
That's your money.
Yeah, right?
She goes, actually, you know what? I've got snacks tonight. And he goes, yeah, because I paid you to suck my dick.
You suck my dick.
That could never take myself out of that.
It's such a good thing, though. Here's the thing. I hope my son never does that. I hope he goes the route of you, because later in life, his relationships will be better. You know what I mean?
Not transactional.
Well, you have because I was never, my generation, when you don't talk about sex, your parents don't tell you, there's nothing. She never mentioned it again. So I had to learn sex from all these other kids.
Yeah, which was not
terrible.
good. Which is not good,
right?
Because you don't know who's getting thrown in the mix.
My kid can come to me and told me he's looked at stuff. I said, listen, you tell me, and he told me he looked at a couple things, and I saw what he looked at, and it was just girls on TikToks like dancing.
Oh, that's so funny, dude.
And I was like,
and you want to keep that innocence forever. That's what Jay always would make fun of me. Jay's like, you're so vanilla because you like beer commercials. It's like, I'm going to keep that alive.
Yeah.
As long as I can, of being into jiggling tits in a bikini.
Yeah, you don't have to stare at your wife's vagina and go, "This is not my sister. It's not my sister."
I don't want to see a gaping asshole to make my cock move.
Yeah, you have a prolapsed asshole.
Yeah. Just so like, oh God, I found you in a crate.
I need to
That's
punch
what gets me going.
I need to punch your stomach and have your pussy shoot out like a stress doll nose.
Tell me you need this for your family's food. You're like, you don't want that.
What?
I want a lady that's like, hey, I'm on a trampoline and I've got jiggly tits, and you're like, it's pretty cool. I'm still into
pretty
that.
hot. Yeah.
Hey everybody, if you're listening to this, number one, thank you for listening. Number two, I'm on the road. December 8th, Royal Oak Theater in Royal Oak, Michigan. Come out, dansoder.com for tickets. Also, Buckhead Theater in Atlanta the following night, December 9th. If you're in the Atlanta area, come see me at the Buckhead Theater. Get tickets at dansoder.com. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel and follow me at Dan Soder on Twitter and Instagram and TikTok, all that shit.
Are you a good bang?
I don't know. I would think I'm okay.
I want to ask you seriously, and I know you're humble. I know you're humble.
Here's why I say yes.
Yeah.
Here's why I say yes.
Because you have a smoking hot chick in the other room? Yeah, dude.
Also, I'm desperate to please people. It's a gift and a curse. I hate it. I'm like working on not being a people pleaser right now. But I would say...
Why?
Let go.
Just say
Liz
what
was
you
here, he'd be
want.
like,
Get what you deserve.
Yeah, get it.
Get
Come. Come on, her tush.
Even if
I
you
don't know
don't
if you'd
have
say that.
rhythm, say you do.
We're doing an impression of the therapist that we share, who, by the way, has a client that's his age after me.
What?
He's
Old
like
guy?
Yeah, like a 75-year-old dude.
Oh, that's bothersome.
But you know what Katie and I always joke around about? That they're just friends and they just talk shit about how big of a pussy I am. And then he comes in and he goes, crying about his dad again. And he's like, what do you want, Alan? He's a fucking pussy. Every time I leave, they're like, hey, did the mensch did that stupid prick leave?
Hey, remember the guy that used to be fat? Is he still coming in?
Oh, they have the guy that used to eat that was big and now he's small.
Yeah.
Look,
anger issues. We got it.
We got it. Oh, you can't stop yourself around bread.
Yeah.
Shut up, you schmuck.
You didn't have a dad. Join the club.
They're both old Jewish men, and that's why this is accurate.
I think they got that.
Well, you know, I'm trying to have a lot of context.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes.
You right now.
What was that? Were you getting into character? Why did you wipe your face? What kind of weird fucking move was that? Let me ask you something. That was like, I dated an actress and she would do this thing called actress breath. When she was trying to be serious, she'd go like this. I just don't feel like you're listening to me. And immediately I'd be like, this is bullshit. I'm going to swat your point down. You don't actress breath me. You just actress breath me. You know what? Let me ask you something. Where does that come from? So I disagree. I think it went MySpace.
Sorry, what'd you say?
Touch
What'd you say?
Hulk
You disagree
Hogan.
with who?
Don't you touch
Disagree
the
with who?
longest reigning WWF heavyweight champion of all time. Dude, the Gary cassette will get your fucking fingers broke.
Oh, it does that.
Dog, all these little things are very, all my little special, all my special things. Dude, touch my little thin ears. Look how thin my ears are. Go ahead, give them a flick.
They're almost elfish.
No, from behind
sorry,
your ass. That hurt. Jesus, Bobby. This is the first time I've been physically assaulted on my own podcast. And I know he edits like a whiz, so I know he'll be able to focus in. There,
right,
are you
so-
happy? Look how flimsy that was.
That was flimsy.
So is your question is, how scared am I?
My question is,
Is that your question?
there was something before you were just saying that was interesting, but I forget what it was.
We're talking about Facebook. And
Yeah,
we've-
well, you're doing your special, but it's like.
By the way, I'm not calling it a special because I don't think it's a special.
Okay.
I think it's more of an hour / mixtape. It's just the hour I have right now. I just want to put it out.
Like I just put my special on
Punch Up Live.
Punch Up, but it's like the
We
amount.
might put it on Punch Up Live first, and
The
then we might
amount
put
of
it on
emails
YouTube.
that I got.
I know, it's crazy.
I'm like shit, and I'm like, okay, so I can. He goes, yeah, we can find out. I have where all these people are.
By the way, check out Punch Up Live. Go watch Bobby's stuff on there. Joe List's got stuff up there. Sam
It's
Morrill,
just a weird
Giannis
thing.
Pappas.
It's a weird thing to me that we put these things on YouTube and we're hoping for some monetary value.
Sure.
Right? If they don't fuck you out of that,
Yeah.
some third
And they
party
can decide.
They can
decide
decide
which ones go and which ones don't. I've had meetings with you. I mean, like when we were making this podcast.
Do you know YouTube people?
I personally had a meeting with a guy from YouTube.
Worth their shit, but
We'll edit that part out. I think
Okay.
they're great.
I mean, here's the
I think
thing.
they do great work. I'm so excited.
Yeah.
So excited for that. Guys, hey,
So you met
see
with-
Corporate Dan, the return of Corporate Dan. Guys, YouTube's great. I think it's owned by a wonderful company. I think it gives a lot
So
of
you
freedom.
met YouTube people.
Well, figuring all this shit out, dude, this is what I mean by trying to play catch up.
Yeah.
I think, like, you've had you know what, dude, for 15 years.
Yeah.
You've had your own podcast. I mean, you had Bobby Kelly with sometimes Colin Quinn.
But I've had it before. I had it at this point where
it was the
I
Wild West.
was doing it out of love of the game. I still do it out of the love of the game. I don't make the money that people have made off podcasts. I never got that. When I had like me and Joe DeRosa, if we could have just saw something, we could have been the #1 podcast.
I mean, look at you,
Then
it was like you and Rogan were the only people doing podcasts.
the business is fucking nuts like that. It
But I
changes
also-
on a dime, and people who are trajectories are going like this, playing off, and then other guys just shoot the fuck past them.
I think it's just
weird.
chaos right now.
Yeah, that's why I think it's the main thing, and I'm happy you're doing what you're doing, is because the main thing above all else
Yeah.
is being happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is, you know, when we announced the podcast or whatever, and we announced that it's only 30 to 40 minutes an episode,
Yeah.
you get a lot of people being like, well, what the fuck? You guys recorded an hour, put out the hour, don't edit. One guy was like, the best podcasts don't edit. And you're like, that's fine. That's what you think. I want to put out something that I'm comfortable with. And I also don't want people to get sick of me.
Yeah.
Because I think there's an opportunity right now.
It's funny, man. This is the thing I'm learning too, is that I can never go to the accolades because I will find what I'm really looking for is the haters.
Yeah.
So if I go for I will find them, and then one guy will say something like that, and I'll be like, should we make this? Should we
Yeah.
not end it?
Yeah.
And it's like, what do you? No, we made a creative decision to do this one thing.
You know what I started doing now?
I'm doing this.
When I see, like, if I'll look at stuff and I'll see like a really nice compliment,
Yeah.
I'll go, that's the best it's going to get.
Yeah.
Back up.
I don't
Back up and
look
stop
at
looking.
it. I don't look at it. The only thing I look at is tits. If I see tits, I look.
Well, now my question reverts back to you.
Yeah.
How are you going to control your son's not looking at tits? What if that's in his blood?
I'm not.
And all he wants to do
I'm
is...
not. He's a dude. Let me tell you something. He said to me the other day. He goes, "Got a girlfriend." I'm like, "What?" He goes, "When I went over to this girl's house, you know what? How I got her?" I'm like, "Why? How?" He goes, "I walked over, Dad. I took a picture of her, and then I went, hey, do me a favor, rate my girl 1 to 10." And then I showed her the picture of her.
He's got lines.
And she said 10, and he was like, "That's how I got her." Yeah. And you know, Big J was talking about, you know Big J, right?
I know Big J.
You guys were so good together.
We were great. We're still
The best.
We're still great together.
You guys still great together.
We're still great on our phone calls that no one else hears.
Oh, really?
That we say that all the time. I was on the road one time and we talked for like an hour on
You know
the
how
phone.
sad he must be? Hanging up the phone going, "We should be doing this."
We did it for 8 years.
All right, relax. I'm kidding. It was a joke. Jesus
You can
Christ.
see, but by the way,
My God.
this brings into the dad shit that I love talking to you about, because I see people, they'll tag me in tweets or whatever, and they'll be like, "Bobby, all right, we get it. You love your son." And I'm like, I don't think Bobby realizes the bonfire is built on dadless homes, and
Yeah.
you being a good dad
Yeah.
is like, it's like pouring water onto fire, where people
know.
are like, hey, you're supposed to be a shitty dad, and you're like the best dad.
I know.
I love watching how good of a dad you and Lewis are.
It's funny to me, too, because I forget that the bonfire was made on two stoners being stoners.
Who also have raging dad issues.
Right.
Raging
Yeah.
dad issues.
Yeah.
I mean,
I feel bad that show, like, people like, the show's going to die. No, it did die. That show is fucking
well, it's
dead.
not two stoners anymore.
It's not. It's a whole new show. So the people that are cool with us are going to stay.
Yes.
And the people that love that show, it's like, no matter how much bitching you're going to do,
It's not going to come back.
I'm never going to become a pothead fucking dude. I'm never going to become you.
It would be really funny, though, if just one day you're like, dude, I smoke blunts every morning. I don't even talk to Max anymore.
I was like, yeah. And
I
did
go,
perfect.
oh my God, you come in and just do a perfect Macho Man? I was like,
Well, yeah,
what
I
happened?
feel bad for those guys, though. I feel bad for those people because it's like
I don't, because I
no,
think everything's supposed to end.
But that's what I know, because I've been with Opie and Anthony. I've been, in these situations where the Colin Quinn Tough Crowd, there was these things where these people were so into this thing, and then it ended, and they were like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, but
like they had to deal with Jim and Sam.
But
you know what I mean?
But I think it all comes back.
No, not in a bad way, but
No, the way you
they
said
had-
that was real positive.
No, but that fan base had to
Adjust.
drop off. Some stayed, and then they growed from there. This is a whole new thing,
Well, I think that's part of the same problem of why we're getting sick of, there's another, they're doing another Star Wars movie, or they're doing another thing. Like, people can't let stuff die and new stuff be born.
I know.
But that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's like, one of the things I wanted to talk to you about is we've both had moms that have dated while we were kids and had to deal with that. Katie and I have been watching we didn't watch the whole season. We've just been watching the last 2 episodes of The Golden Bachelor.
What is that?
It's Bachelor for old women.
That's why you and Jay were so good. You watch the same stupid TV.
Yeah, that's exactly
I
it.
really is.
But the thing we noticed is...
You got, dude, did you see that old broad when she came in? And,
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
right.
exactly it. But Katie and I do that now. We get high, we go like...
Does Katie get high?
I can't answer that. Yes.
She does not get high.
Yeah. Sometimes.
Really? Dawn used to get high, and I want her to get high again.
Give her some edibles.
I have.
That's the mom way now.
I want her to fucking...
Give her like a little 10 milligram.
I want her to get stoned. I want to come into the room and like have her be like Sigourney Weaver and like Ghostbusters 1.
Floating? Possessed by a demon?
Just the wind coming in.
Yeah,
just
she
a
was
titty
possessed
hanging
by a
out.
demon,
Yeah, I
Bobby.
want that.
You want your wife to be possessed by a demon.
I want her to go, yeah.
You go, my wife was on the bed 3 feet above the bed. you're like,
Yeah.
hey, Dawn, it's just you giving her that talk while she's breathing. Like,
Are
above.
you good?
Are you the gatekeeper?
Yeah, I want that.
Are you the key master? You're like, are you the gatekeeper?
Yeah.
But
What's the question?
the thing I noticed is like we both watched our moms try. Yeah. Did you feel like your mom was trying to give you a better life by dating, or did you feel like she was trying to...
I think my mom was trying to give herself a better life.
Yeah, that's how I felt too.
I think my mom thought that our life was good with her. She worked a lot, She wasn't home. The problem with what happened with my mom, she had my sister too young.
So your sister is the oldest.
She had my sister when she was 15. She had me when she was 18. My father and her broke up while he was in Vietnam.
Wait, your dad was in Nam?
Yeah.
What year were you born?
70.
You're damn, dude.
What?
You're old as fuck.
I look good.
You do.
I do.
53. You look fucking
good.
So your dad's in Nam. He's got Charlie all over the place.
He's came back a little fucked up.
You think?
Yeah.
But your mom broke up with him when he was in the shit?
I think something happened. I think she cheated on him. Something weird happened.
Jesus.
Because I never got the thing. I got the thing from my dad and I got the thing from my mom.
What?
So I never got the story.
Oh, yeah. You know what's crazy is that's a big similarity that we have.
Yeah.
I only heard my dad and his family talk shit about my mom.
Yeah.
I only heard my mom and her family talk shit about my dad.
Yeah, somewhere
so
in
you
the
don't
middle
know the
lies
real
the
story.
truth, yeah.
You know, it's the only time I made Alan cry.
You made Alan cry?
Yeah.
Kidding, I do it all the time.
Damn it. I was really hoping I was going to wow you.
I've done it 4 times.
I know. You got 4? I got 2.
I got 4.
I got 2, but I remember them. But we were going, my grandma was turning 90 and my mom, it's not even her mom, it's my dad's mom. But she's the only grandparent alive. And my mom was like, I'll help you with their birthday party. So I flew my mom out to San Francisco. You know, I picked her up. We were driving to my grandma's. And we were going by her old apartment in Marin. And I was like, you want to go see Nana's like old apartment? And my mom was like, oh my God, I haven't been there since like 78. And I was like, oh, let's drive down. So we were driving down there and my mom like got emotional on Sir Francis Drake, which is like the main road off the highway. As we turned down it, my mom was like, the last time I was driving down this street, going to this apartment, I was with your father and I was so in love with him. And she like started getting emotional. And I was telling Alan, that's the only time in my life I've ever seen my parents be in love. That was the only time in my life. But it's the only time in my life I've ever. The only time in my life I've ever seen my mom.
Sad thing.
It's the only time in my life I've ever seen my mom love.
Yeah.
Be like, oh, I'm in love with your dad. Yeah. Because the rest, just like you, growing up, they're like, fuck him. Guy fucking sucks.
Well, I didn't think that about my dad. I didn't.
Was he around when you were a kid?
He wasn't around when I was young. Then my mom remarried to this guy who was a fucking douche.
That's the piece. So you got the piece of shit first.
I got the piece of shit kindergarten to 5th grade.
Fuck, 5 years.
And that was the 5 years of just physical,
abuse,
mental abuse.
Yeah, he just abused the hell out of you.
He punched you and hit you and whacked you and stupid fatty, stupid idiot.
And would your dad ever come around in those years?
No, well, I remember, I have all these bad memories, man. And I remember crying, being so fucking sad. And I'm like, I want to move out. And my mother went, I want to go live with my dad because he had just come over. He would come over and pick me up once in a while and take me to lunch or take me somewhere.
And how sick was that? Because whenever, I don't know if you felt this way, whenever you're with your dad out of your own home where shit sucks, you're like, oh, the realm of possibilities is endless.
It's crazy.
You think of your dad's like, it's kind of cool because it's like the same pop Kramer got in Seinfeld when he'd come in the door and everyone's like, wow. And he, also yelled the N-word. But you'd come in and you'd be like, wow. You'd be like excited.
Well, my dad was cool as shit.
So was mine. My dad was funny as hell.
He always had chapstick. He had my lips.
Oh,
I remember he'd do this.
Those are genetic.
And he would just be like, what's up? Let's go.
See, my dad would...
Leather jacket. Fonzie leather jacket.
My dad had a bomber jacket.
Yeah.
My dad would smoke cigarettes.
My dad smoked too.
We'd always get in his bug. He had a yellow bug. And he'd pop a red in, right? And he'd jimmy the window down. Yeah. But I always remember he'd be talking and he'd light his cigarette and he'd be like, so how's school going? And he'd be like, and then and I'd watch the smoke come out of his nose and his mouth and catch.
Yeah, my dad would come over, a leather jacket. How you doing, Kathy? Very cool. How you doing, Kathy? Bobby, let's go. We get in the car.
What about your sister?
And he would take us separately.
Really?
And then he would pop a cigarette in and he would take his chapstick first, do his lips, and they were wet. Sexy wet though.
Like LL Cool J wet?
Yeah, and he would go, and then he would pop a cigarette, like, we want to go for lunch. Just cool as shit.
Why did he take you?
So one night, let me just tell the story.
Yeah.
One night I said I want to go live with my father, and
that's the classic.
Dude, I'm dying crying.
Yeah,
like I'm dying.
You're making like a weird wheeze noise.
She went,
I want to go live with Dad.
She went, I'm not fucking queer. She went,
I don't know. Sorry, your dad's putting on fucking lip gloss before he smokes a cigarette.
It's a goddamn man. And it was chapstick.
Yeah,
cocksucker.
was it? Was his lip? Don't you
talk about
fucking touch
Steve.
the Hulkster.
You don't talk about Steve.
It's Steve, dude. Steve
talk
Kelly.
about
What a
Steve Kelly.
fucking Boston name.
Dude.
Fucking Steve Kelly.
She goes like this. She goes, and she knew, which is sucky, but she knew. She goes, call him.
Oh, God damn
And
it.
she went like this, bum, bum. Your son wants to live with you. And said, here. And she knew.
Dude,
Fuck!
it's crazy. It's crazy you say that.
Why?
Trish played that same hand.
Really?
That same exact hand where I go, I want to live with Dad. She goes, you want to live with Dad? Okay.
Oh.
Go live with Dad.
Yeah.
One time I told her I was going to run away. I was like, I'm going to run away. My mom didn't say anything. She got up, went to the coat closet, grabbed my winter jacket. It was like December. Opened the door, threw the jacket out the thing. She goes, go ahead.
How old?
11?
Wow.
And I was like, what? I didn't mean it. You have to like pull it back. You're like, damn, bitch. I don't know. I was like, kind of just like joking.
I ran away.
You did?
I ran away in third grade.
So you're 8 years old.
Yeah, third grade. Ran away. I was crying at a bus stop because the guy was such an abusive piece of shit.
Yeah.
Crying at a bus
here's
stop.
the thing I know
and
about
this
you.
hot chick went, what's wrong with you? I told her I ran away and I have nowhere to go. Dude, I was fucking terrified. This hot little, she probably had to be like teenager, walked me to my house and opened it. My mother was like, oh my God, thank you so much. Grabbed me, hugged me, holding me. I went, oh Mom, I love you so much. And she went, I love you too. And I remember I was this moment of, oh my God. And I was under the table. I remember this glass table, and I was just happy that my mother said, I love you.
Did she not say it a lot?
But she's on the phone. No, she's Irish Catholic. Then she goes, she's on the phone with her girlfriend, and I heard her, and she's like, yeah, and he came home, and then, he grabbed me, and he goes, oh, Mom, I love you so much. And she went, she started laughing. Dude, I started crying again. I went to my room. Never told her that, by the way.
She'd never know that story.
But I look back now, and she was just, it was, she was probably doing because it was cute.
Whoa, was she
but it
fucking
killed me.
23?
She was
She's
young.
23? My mom had me when she was 35. So my mom, I was like,
Yeah, my mom was
my
a
mom
hoe.
was like Nick Nolte in another 48 hours. She was over it. She's like, hell, kid, I don't know. Go play with your toys.
Yeah.
She had been through shit. My mom had been paralyzed and then back to life again. And then I showed up and I'm like, can I go watch wrestling? And she was like, why did I let that bartender come in me? But it really was.
Dude, my mom got laid in a bush when she was 15.
I mean-
she had my sister when she was 15. Think about a 15-year-old. That's 5 years older than Max.
So that is fucking
Crazy.
nuts. So your dad never took you both out together?
He told, nah, once in a while, but we didn't get
Why
along.
did he? Because he wanted one-on-one time?
Me and my sister kind of separated at that point because we were both trying to survive this middle guy,
Yeah.
this stepdad, and he used to abuse her too. So we kind of just went on our own.
What got him out of there?
My mother divorced him
Why?
because he was an abusive piece of shit.
But why did it take 5 years? Did she not know the
just
abuse was
didn't do
happening?
you just didn't do that back then. You know what I mean? You worked it out. You figured it out. You're Irish Catholic. It's
Yeah.
a sin. It's like, you know what I mean? You had kids when you were too young. She had to go to a house, like a Catholic home.
Oh, she went to like a unwed mother home?
You can't, back then you couldn't, when you went to the hospital, if you had a kid, you couldn't go.
Dog, what are you talking about? My mom was excommunicated from being Catholic because she got divorced from her
Sure.
first husband.
Yeah.
She got married in college and then she was like, this was a huge mistake.
Yeah.
And she's like, I want to get divorced. And her parents were like, you can't come to our church anymore.
Yeah.
You're excommunicated.
Yeah.
So she married my dad, who didn't give a fuck about religion, and he was Episcopalian, which allows divorce because of the King of England. It's the reason he created it, was so he could get divorced.
I love religions like that. They cater to themselves.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
If you look up Episcopalians, it's Catholicism with divorce. That's
Yeah.
just all it is. So my mom was like not allowed to go to the same church as her family because she got
Well,
divorced.
my mom, when she dumped that guy, I think.
How
Can I tell
comfortably-
you something? This is all coming together
Yeah,
now.
let it out.
I think she was working at the Grossman's Bargain Outlet, and I believe she had met somebody.
That's what it is.
I think
that
she,
new dick.
Hang on, yeah, she got some new dick, And
that new dick, she was like, hold on. Also, I just remembered, oh, that guy hits my kids. It's like a hot dude. And she goes,
it's going to work out.
Oh, also, she's just grabbing for reasons to leave him. She goes, you know what? I just remembered this. He fucking beats the shit out of my kids.
Yeah.
I should probably leave him.
He punched me in the stomach a few times.
And Rob at the store's nice to me.
Yeah, he held me down in front of Bobby and had sex with me.
Holy shit.
Now listen.
Jesus Christ, dude. The fact that you are who you are,
yeah.
I just want to say this as we touch fingertips. The fact you are who you are is so goddamn impressive. I hope this is the podcast that Max sees first and goes like, my dad went through a lot of shit to be this great dad.
Well, we'll see.
Bonfire fans are going to go, shut up. We get it. You love your son. Because we all have the same hole.
Yeah, but you need to fucking move on.
I know.
They need to move on.
I know. I get it.
Paul, I'm so sorry.
Brother, I get it.
So sorry, baby.
When he divorced, when your mom, how did she?
She hooked up with Larry, who was married, who became my second stepdad.
Who was great.
Who was the best.
He was the one that passed away like 5 years ago?
He passed away.
But he was great. You loved him.
That was the love of her life.
And you loved him.
Love of her life.
Really?
And I loved him too.
And
great. He was just, and I say this and my mother gets mad, couple years too late for me. Because I already started using drugs. I already went and tried to I found a family and friends in alcohol and drugs.
For sure.
Because I didn't have anybody. So I went and I found it.
Yeah.
And he came in as I was passing him. So I'm like...
So it took you until your adult years to appreciate...
Around 11, 12, 13, around 30, I passed him going just in that bad direction.
Yeah.
And I found those friends and I found drugs. Right as he stepped in, I was like, hey, man, what's up? And we hung out a couple times. I was like, man, I really like this guy, but I was already gone.
You're on the streets.
And it sucks.
You belong to the streets.
I wouldn't have been a comic. I would be probably into some type of manly construction thing or own my own.
Be a contractor.
Something like that. I would not have done this.
Yeah, there is that moment, which is interesting because I think for us it's switched because my mom married Nick, who was the best.
Yeah.
And Nick was like sweet. He was like quiet, but well read.
Yeah.
He built shit.
Yep.
He was like a man. He was big. He was like 6'5".
Yeah, Larry, the same thing. Frank Sinatra, the old roast. He'd trick you. Hey, what are you doing? Can you give me a hand? You're like, sure. And then 7 hours later, you built a deck in the backyard. Hey, look at this.
Nick would just be like, he'd let me watch wrestling. He'd never like push back about stuff I liked.
Yeah.
He'd be like, he would like, if a movie was too scary for me, he would like tell me about the movie.
Really?
While we were like driving places in a way where you're like, he was protective, but in like a good way.
Yeah.
And then him and my mom divorced and then she married and she didn't marry him, but then she moved into shithead. And then from 12 to 16.
Oh, so you did shithead after.
We flipped. We had me and you had the reverse thing. I had the shithead and that's what pushed me to start getting fucked up.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because once Joe was there, Joe was a prick. So I was just, and he was
Where's Joe now?
Fucking, who gives a shit?
Oh, you don't see Joe?
No, they broke up when I was 16.
Oh, good.
I wanted to fight him. Much like you probably wanted to fight your stepdad.
Buddy,
people don't understand that kind of heat.
I chased him with a hatchet.
Damn. How old were you?
I was in 5th grade.
10-year-old with a
10.
hatchet?
I was 10.
Honestly, I don't. As a grown man, 10-year-old with a hatchet, I ain't worried about you.
Buddy, you should have.
All you have to do is focus on the hatchet. And then,
I chased him with a knife first.
Okay.
And he ran because I was fucking trying to stick him. And my mother.
What made you grab the knife?
I don't know, but I know that it was he did something to me again. I know what it was, but he pushed it too far. He wanted me to do. I had to rake leaves in the backyard, and I was like,
it's so funny how many times chores lead to abuse.
And I was like,
it's vacuuming for me.
Oh yeah.
It was It's like
your mother made you vacuum,
dude. I had to do everything when I was a kid.
Really?
I cleaned the bathrooms. I emptied the trash. I vacuumed. I fucking mowed the lawn.
Yeah.
I picked up the dog shit. I cleaned the cat box. I didn't even like the cat. I had to clean the cat box.
Yeah, he made me do a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And that's where I got that joke. I used to have a joke in my act. I used to say, raking leaves. What do you fucking rake leaves? You know, God named them leave. Leave them there.
I'm glad that joke.
Hang on one second. It gets worse. If God named them pick-me-ups, I'd pick them all up. The season's called fell. No, the season's called fall. All the leaves are falling. I rake, they're there again. How come up with another season called fell? All the leaves fell. I do this once. This shit sucks.
You're upsetting me.
The guy steals the joke from me.
Guy stole that from you?
Yeah.
I
It's a
hope he
good
doesn't-
joke.
It's not a good joke.
Back in the day, it was.
Yeah, fucking what, Evening at the Improv in
Yeah.
1989?
Yeah, that's what it
You
was.
gotta roll
yeah.
up your sleeves in front of a fucking
98,
brick.
97.
Hey, hey, you in front of a brick wall, and you're like, it's pretty crazy. Colin had one of my favorite jokes in 2008 about John McCain.
Yeah.
He goes, I don't know. I don't trust the guy. I don't trust John McCain. He smiles like a father that's about to turn violent. And he goes, you call that raking the leaves? And he did it in the smile. I was thinking, but yeah, chores lead to abuse.
Yeah, that's what happened. Some chore shit, and then we got into it, and I chased him with a knife. My mom grabbed me, and when she grabbed me, he goes, go ahead. And I just went, fuh. And he pulled back because he realized I was going to kill him. And then I got a hatchet when we were out in the back. He had me doing chores, and I picked the hatchet up, and I kind of went like that at him, and he ran a little.
And at any moment, this guy doesn't go like, hey, maybe I should lighten up on the abuse.
No.
At any moment, he goes,
No.
the kid's turning into fucking Gage from Pet Cemetery.
Wasn't his kid.
Maybe
Yeah.
that's why. Did he have kids of his own?
No. I don't know. Maybe later. Never knew what happened to him.
So, this shithead.
Yeah.
What's the moment of relief? What's the moment where he's like, where your mom's like, hey, fuckface is gone?
Worse.
It was an explosion.
Dude, we went from having a house, having all kinds of money. He had
so
money.
he did well.
Yeah. He had money.
There it is.
He had a Monte Carlo two-door with T-top spoke wheels.
That's the most Boston
Fucking-
shit you've ever said in my life.
Oh, he used to make me...
Fucking,
Dude, I mean, awesome.
Yeah.
I had Atari, all kinds of shit.
So
dude.
you had the nice life, but the hell of dealing with him.
Yeah, then when we moved out, we had nothing. We had no money, no nothing. She worked 7 days a week, and that's when I started using fucking drugs.
Because, you had no one there to...
Nobody.
But you had Larry come in.
Larry came in too late.
Yeah, as you said, you missed.
I
Two shifts
just
in the
missed
night.
him.
What was the last day of living with Shithead? Do you remember
yeah.
Do you remember we got to get our stuff and get out of this guy's big house?
Yeah, I do. Barely, but I do. Well, he bought this is what a piece of shit he is. He bought the Atari.
Oh, you've told me this story
Bought
before.
the Atari.
To keep you guys...
He came in, he was playing. He's like, oh, I got the Atari, want to play? And he was sitting there.
You've told me this
And
story before.
Me and my
I remember.
sister were like, Mom, don't leave him. Don't leave him. He's got Atari. And he kind of sucked us back on the side. And my mother went, fuck it, you took the Atari. Motherfucker, how dare you try to turn my kid?
You go, whoa, leave the Atari alone.
Yeah.
So every time you step in, you go, Mom.
He tried to use Atari.
Mom, that's advanced Japanese
He liked my mom,
technology.
though. He didn't like us. He really liked my mom.
But he just
My mom
hated
was
you.
fucking a smoke show.
And he just hated her, my hot wife and her two dumb fucking kids.
Well, yeah, that hurts, but yep. That is exactly probably what he said. But yeah, that hurts my feelings.
That's how it was with
but-
Joe.
Yeah.
He wanted to party with my mom, and he
Yeah.
hated the fact that I was around being like,
Yeah,
hey, I need parenting.
He's just a big-headed
Oh,
kid.
being like, are the 49ers on? And also, he was my godfather.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah.
He hated my
Weird.
dad. Him and my mom would get drunk and trash my dad.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, oh, I don't know. He's kind of a good guy. But the day he moved out was the day my sister got killed in the car accident. It was the day after it was the day I found out my sister was dead. It was the day he was moving out. And I just remember him holding a box going, sorry about your sister. And I just found out, and I was sitting on the couch, and I was like, yeah, Joe. I just gave him
Jesus Christ.
all right, Joe, bye.
What was your sister's name again?
Michelle.
Michelle.
Yeah, and so it was one of those things where, like for you, it was the same. It was great you were getting out of the life, but it was shitty that you lost all the money in the nice house and all this stuff.
Lost it all, and then everything fell apart for a long time. But then, sober, getting my shit together, and then getting kind of the family back, and it sucked that he passed away young because it fucked my mom up. But it's funny. I went over the house.
Wait, who died young?
Larry.
Larry. Oh yeah.
Larry died 5 years ago from sepsis.
Yeah.
Really fast. Sucks.
Damn.
And it sucks for my mom.
I didn't realize your mom was that young. So they're in their 60s.
60s, yeah. So.
Damn.
But we went over the house last week with, me, Max, Dawn, my younger sister, and her boyfriend, and her son. And
Now
his
is
son.
your
they
younger
live in
sister
the house now?
Is your younger sister Larry's daughter with your
Yeah,
mom?
yeah.
That's sick.
And my younger brothers.
I like that.
Yeah, Andrew and
Oh
Carol.
yeah, I've met your brother.
And so I went over there. My sister was there. My Uncle Sean was there. my little sister.
So Max only knows this is a good family, as like a loving.
Yeah, Max has got 50 cousins.
Yeah, so he's got a lot of love in that.
Yeah, we just don't live there.
But does he know about the shitty stepdad at all? Does he?
No.
When are you going to tell him those stories?
I'm not gonna. He doesn't need to know.
He's going to watch this. You're
Yeah,
going to hear it on his YouTube. You're going to hear my voice come through your wall and be like, does Max ever watch this?
The only way he's going to see this is if I do it with Fluffy. That's the only guy he likes.
That's so funny.
He doesn't like any of you fuckers yet.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I'm trying to think of what my I'm Fluffy could be. I'm big-headed. I'm trying to think how I can get in there.
I mean, yeah, the thing is, and it's gonna be hard over the next couple of years because he's going to be listening to. The hard part is that I hope that he doesn't because we all have haters.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
that's.
So it's like,
In fact, I heard Byrne in an interview one time say 80-20. 80% of people love you. That's where you want to be.
Yeah, oh yeah.
80% of people love you. 20% of people dislike you.
Sure, that's a great number.
That's where it is, because if you're 100%, you're pandering.
If you're 100%,
If you're 90%,
pandering.
it's going to crash.
Yeah.
80%, it's like a viable. Here's the percent. 100% of people, 80% of people like me.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, and you have to be comfortable with that.
But the one thing that these people don't understand is we're not trying to do anything other than make them have a laugh.
I genuinely,
you know what I mean? That's all comedians. What we're trying to do.
The entire point of me doing this podcast is for people to listen to this on their way to work.
Sure.
Where it's two buddies bullshitting.
Yeah.
Honestly, this is a time kill. And I hope it's a good conversation for someone to listen to this and be like, I like Bobby and Dan. I want to hear them talk about this.
Yeah.
Maybe they have heard
Somewhere
these stories.
along the line, though, people decided to go, oh, this sucks. That stinks. He's a fucking, she's a fucking.
Yeah.
And it's
but it's
like,
also, you know what?
Yeah.
Let them have it.
You know
I
what,
do that with.
dude?
I do that with like wrestling.
Yeah.
I do that with like shit that I like.
Yeah.
Bands where I'll be like, I don't like that. I like that.
Yeah, but you've never contacted somebody.
I made that joke one time to Shane. We were playing Madden.
Yeah.
And I threw an interception with I think it was Cam Newton on the Panthers. And I was like, I'm going to go tweet at him that I hate him.
Did you?
Joking.
Oh, yeah.
And Shane goes, people do that.
Really?
And I was like, but they do.
Yeah, they do that.
They
With
do.
them.
Like,
Yeah.
dude, I've watched people tweet at the president. Yeah. Like, that's going to fucking
He's a
matter.
moron.
All of them are. All politicians are morons.
Left
if you're
wing.
tweeting, right?
Left wing.
Apolitical. Good luck
What?
finding me. I'm apolitical. I don't believe in any of it.
None of
all,
it? You don't believe in anything?
No, I've learned
You don't
that
believe
it's
in
all.
America?
They're all friends.
You don't like America.
Trump was at Clinton's wedding.
Say
How does
it.
that feel?
Say it.
Trump was at Clinton. You hate the troops.
What?
You hate the troops.
Dude, you hate.
When you said when
you
they
hate
came
the flag.
back.
You hate the colors.
I love it.
You were like, I wish they were purple and green.
No.
You said it.
I love
You
red, white,
said
and blue.
that. You said red,
you go,
red,
if I
white,
have
blue.
if I have to give another one of these loser vets $1 on the street,
Buddy, I
this
saw
is
you punch
verbatim.
an eagle.
I would
I saw
never
you
do that.
fucking punch an
I would
eagle in
never
the
do that.
face.
I want to tell you, I appreciate you creating a core memory of hatred for Max and missing his recital.
Dude, I missed my son's recital to be here tonight.
It was a banger of an episode, though.
I fucking
We're gonna
love
edit
you,
this
man.
thing down into a fucking toit 35 to 40.
A tight 8.5 minutes.
I love you so much.
It's gonna be. I love you too, buddy.
I can't tell you how much I appreciate everything you've done for me. From, you know what, dude? From, I mean, the fact that, you know, we've done this several times on different podcasts, but I truly love you.
I love you too, buddy. And I can't tell you how much it means to me.
You double booked yourself on the podcast.
Yeah.
And this is the honest to God truth. I've never heard someone legitimately regret doing that.
Yeah.
And you were like, dude, let's find a time to do it. I'll come over after the bonfire did it. And you did. You missed your son's recital. That was a little
You're
much.
one of my favorite people in the world, always, from the day I met you. And I can't tell you how much it means to me that you got sick of the bonfire and left so I could have that job.
So get a sick check. Get you a sick check.
Put those handcuffs on me, motherfucker.
Robert Kelly Live.
I love Big J. I love
yeah.
Big-
Let's look at let's look at gaping asshole porn.
Yeah, Jason. We got the show we always wanted.
Yeah. RobertKellyLive.com. I have said this, and I will always say this. I've never seen someone kill as hard as you. You're one of my favorite people to watch do stand-up comedy. Go watch Bobby, Robert Kelly Alive, listen to The Bonfire, listen to, you know what, dude, listen to The Regs.
The Regs is killing it.
Listen to The Regs.
Yeah.
Listen to Bone to Pick.
Bone to Pick's killing it.
You're the fucking best.
You're
I love
the
you.
best.
Thank you for coming
You're
over to my
one of the
house.
most talented fucking guys out there, and I can't wait to see what all this leads to.
I love
And
you.
every time this fucking magician,
I know.
this
I got the secret sauce, dog.
you got this secret sauce.
I got a
over
guy
there.
dressed up like an AIDS quilt.
You
It's gonna cut this up.
really have Jim Henson doing. He's producing
He's
your
just got his
podcast.
hand up my ass, and I'm going waka
Everything-
waka waka.
Everything this fucking dude touches turns to gold.
I love you,
Sucker.
dude. Thanks for coming over.
I love you too, buddy.
Fuck those stepdads.